Welcome. This is Allie with Truth Seekers. Today's topic we're going to talk about today is about an awakening and do-overs. So let's talk about that. Life gives you do-overs. Do we really believe that? That life gives you do-overs? Or are you confined to whatever's going on in your life right now? And whatever you don't have, whatever your lack is that your focus? Or do you really believe that life gives you a chance to give do-overs? I firmly believe that the universe in its total design from day one was created to give us do-overs, to give us an opportunity to fix so that we can grow. And it's all about perspective and how people see it. Do you see everything going on in your life right now as every trauma, every bad thing that's going on are the things that actually are there to hurt you, to tear you down, to make you worse than you are, to make your situation worse, to let you know just how good of a person or not good of a person you are? We talk about the law of attraction and us bringing things into our life. But what if it was just by design? Through your Akashi records, everything built in you and your DNA has designed it in such a way that every single thing you're going through was intentional. It was made to get you to make choices. It was put in place so that you can choose to be your higher self. So you can see what you were really made of. So you could see how strong you are. So you could see where you're supposed to go and what your life purpose is. And yes, the law of attraction says that if you're putting out negative, you get negative back. And karma says if you do negative and you sow a seed of all this negativity, it's coming back. But if you sow a seed of positivity, it's coming back too. But what if, with all of those natural laws in place, the universe had it so set from the beginning of your existence, from the beginning of the chromosomes connecting, from the beginning of before you were thought, that there was going to be a process, a journey that you had to go through so that you could become who you were supposed to be. You've always been meant to be your true, authentic self. Those things come in the form of awakenings. And people think you're crazy whenever you go through one, to the point where you can't have a conversation with people because it was just for you. That makes sense. But when you get around your tribe, your people who know you, who've been through what you've gone through, it makes sense. And then you don't need words. You just have the energy of the experience that carries you. So what does this have to do with do-overs? God, the universe, whatever you want to call them, that is your entity, that is your highest vibration, they always give you an opportunity to get to that next level. The universe so wants you to succeed in life, so wants you to have everything, to know and feel what abundance is, that it always has do-overs set in place. We have to look for them. We have to see them as such. And then we have to use the experience from the opportunity to take us to the next level. Because you have to learn something. You have to develop some part of you that didn't get developed, that is still in process. And that's what it does. And that's what I try to teach you when I talk about tarot, because that's about a journey. It's about understanding the cards take you through life's journeys and all of the particular decisions that you might have to make. And it helps give you a guideline or a GPS to say, no, turn right, turn left. That's what our Truth Seekers is all about. We're going to talk to some people. We're going to have some conversations with some people. And we're going to show and talk about what those first moments of awakening are. What it looked like for you. And we're going to give you a safe environment to have that conversation that says what those experiences are. So I'm going to put out our guest speaker for today. His name is Quan. And he has been going through that journey himself. And so I want to bring you people who can tell the story and experience it in a level that you would understand, and maybe you'll have some aha moments, and maybe you'll have some moments where you say, hey, that's the same thing that I went through. And so we're going to bring him over. He has recently done some great work, and I don't want to tell his story about how he's transformed and changed his life to be who he is, but I'll let him do it for you and give you a little bit more detail. He's an excellent, went to school for media arts to be able to do radio hosting and designing and directing and all of these great things. And so I'm just so pumped up and excited to have him because he started that process. And let him introduce himself.
Oh, come sit in right here. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and check.
You were shocked. You're like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm Peter Delso, but I go by Quan the Don. That is my show name, my hosting name. I do a number of things at this point, but I was in that space exactly where she was talking about, where the universe was pointing me in directions, and I felt like nobody understood but me. I was trying to express it, but it just wasn't getting through. But at this point, I think now that everything's starting to manifest and the proof is in our face, like you just have to be like, okay, maybe it was a good idea. Maybe it was a good sacrifice. Okay, I see now. So at that point, you know, I was just going through a lot of different things that I knew was going on, but I just didn't know the extent of what I was really going through, the consequences of it was, until we actually got there. And I lost my job, and I couldn't find work. It was hard to find work, and then that's something that I've never experienced before. Not to be stroke my ego or anything, but I'm a black guy whose name is Peter. So it was never ever hard to find work. Like I always got interviews, so you know, it was just getting those interviews and getting told no. I wasn't used to that. So that was a big adjustment in my life, and I had to start thinking for the future. Like the things that I was doing wasn't working, obviously. So when you sat down, you had those times to think to yourself and actually really focus on what it is that you want. What's your priorities? What's important to you? What's really not important to you? And then from there, you can figure out what you need to let go of, what things you need to keep. What things mean you no good, what things are healthy for you, and then the choice is just up to you after that. At that point, to make those changes if you truly want to be better. So I just bought in. I just kind of gave in to what the universe was telling me to do. I just gave in. but it seems like the signs is like slapping you in the face. I prayed the night before. I was just like, man, I really don't know what to do, what direction to really go in. And I dropped Keisha off at work, and I was riding back to the house. And I heard the Illinois Media School commercial, like, and it was only weird because something was like, I was listening to a song I like, and someone was like, change the channel. And I changed to GCI and caught the end of Illinois Media School, and I looked them up and I called, and the lady suckered me in. She was like, oh, just come see me, come talk to me, you know, this, that, and the third. And it was just funny to me because I was just like, you know, when she said come talk to her, I was like, no, I ain't finna go talk to this lady. But I was just sitting there like, I don't have nothing to do. So I'm grateful and I'm glad that I went with my instinct and kind of went up there and spoke to the lady. And she just was so excited. It made me excited. I was just like, you think so? And she was like, you will be great for this. You will be perfect, man. You got a great personality. You got a nice smile. Like, you would be dope for this. Read these lines for me. And I did it, and I felt weird, but it was kind of good to get out of my comfort zone too, do something different. But I've always loved the media. I've always been around social media. Like, we kind of just all grew into it as we've gotten older. But just from playing basketball already and having people following me from, you know, what I do basketball-wise, it was an easy transition to go straight into that. So, you know, when I started off on sports shows and talking on there, I was getting a nice following because majority of my friends were friends with me through basketball. So they were excited to see me doing this next step in the journey. So it was just like, okay, I may have some things happening here. But it was just like right after that, I kept finding myself in situations where I'm in the room with people and they're speaking highly of me from somebody else that I did work with. And it just started to let me know, like, okay, maybe I am doing something right. You know, like, I felt like I was in a space where I couldn't do no right. But being in that different environment and space, it was just like, you could do this, man. You got it. You got more talent than you give yourself credit for. And then I would go out and do certain work, you know, to build my portfolio. And I would have people pull me to the side and say, stop underpaying yourself. You're worth what we get paid. You do quality. Some of your work be better than ours. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And it wasn't until that, like, these is people that's in that realm, that's worked in the industry, that's been there 15 plus years, pull me to the side and tell this to me. So after that, it was just like, okay, tunnel vision. I know.